Hello guys. Welcome to another video. This is Wisdom King YouTube channel. By the way, subscribe over YouTube channel for more exciting videos of that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Spoiler alert, in this video used images just for reference. Chapter 1. The Eve of the Festival. Part 5. If you haven't seen previous videos of Chapter 1 yet, take a look, there is a link in the description. It was now morning, 3 days since Diablo's return. Youm's band was here, and he picked the exact right moment to show up. We were actually holding a preopening feast this evening, the festival itself finally starting up tomorrow. Before then, however, we were at the usual meeting hall, Youm and a few of his closer advisors seated across from me. Hey, pal, it's been forever and a day, ain't it? Well, guess what? I'm royalty. His clothing certainly had a few more bells and whistles on it, but the person inside hadn't changed. He was just as brazen as always, greeting me with a defiant grin. I smiled back. And clothes certainly make the king, don't they, Youm? Thanks for all your hard work. Ha, hell, thank you. You're the one who took some grubby bum off the street and elevated. I'm up to king, he said with a smile, so I hope you're gonna see this to the end, yeah. I'm all in on what you're aiming for, so don't leave me hanging halfway. Just as he promised, Youm had become a fine king for me, and with Diablo's behind-the-scenes work, he now had a firm grip on the throne. Farminus, a nation with a long, illustrious history, had fallen. In its place was born a new kingdom, with the champion Youm as its accepted leader. It was a nation reborn from the threat it once was, so Diablo thought fit to change its name to Farminus. To cement this, he also had Youm style himself as Youm Farminus. Next to him in the meeting hall were two magic-born, Murun and Gruasit. They were his constant bodyguards, and I had no doubt they'd keep Youm safe, although Murun wasn't really a bodyguard at all, of course. Lord Rimuru, let me reintroduce myself. I am Mur Farminus, wife of the king. It is good to see you again. Perhaps noticing my eyes on her, Murun lifted up her dress a little and curtsied. It was beautiful, enough to make your garden variety rich heiress blanche. You fit into the role of queen like a puzzle piece, Murun. Yeah, doesn't she? Youm said, beaming with pride. She's educated and all, unlike me. I do have some experience in this, shall we say. Clayman was such a stickler for etiquette and manners. There was no doubting that Clayman held himself well, or at least had a thing for noble trappings. He'd festooned his castle with ornate furniture and artwork, and I'm sure he was just as fastidious with his own staff. Looks like that helped us out in the most surprising way with her. Yeah, well, it's an experience for all of us. I mean, ruling a nation's been hard for me, too. A little bit ago, I had to formally greet every species in the forest of Jura, and it nearly killed me. I felt like some kinda sacred idol. Oh, I hear ya. I have all these nobles requesting audiences with me, and some of those idiots are already forming factions and trying to start something. What a headache, I tell ya. At least that old man Raisin, our magic expert, is handling all that pretty well. Raisin himself was not here. Things were still less than stable around their nation, and he was busy darting to and fro, attending to post-Civil War matters. I feared for a moment he'd betray us, but looking back, he was only under the effects of Diablo's tempter spell, so no worries there. The retired Admiris, meanwhile, had disguised his identity and was now serving as an advisor, making up for Youm's lack of experience and education and helping out in assorted areas of politics. And as for Gruasit the magic-born. So you're head of the night corps now. I sure am, Sir Rimuru. I turned the job down, but he never listens to me. Youm had all but forced Gruasit to take a role in government. He certainly had the muscle for it, and none of the remaining knights voiced any complaint, so the fledgling nation of Farminus wanted to appoint him head knight, hoping to keep such talent from straying off. He'd balked at first, enjoying the new freedom in his life, but after Murun begged him as well, he found it impossible to refuse. Was Gruasit gonna be alright doing that? I didn't bring it up. He didn't seem that reluctant. I still consider myself part of Lord Carolyn's warrior alliance, but for now, I don't mind babysitting this idiot. Shut up, you're the idiot. No, those two hadn't changed much. And the sight of Murun wincing at them took me back as well. It was a familiar act, but this time, someone interrupted it. King Youm, Captain Gruasit, you're being terribly rude to the Demon Lord. The loud voice came from what looked like a grade school boy, a very handsome and intelligent one. Ah, Edgar, you're always so serious, ha ha ha. And why not? He's far better put together than you. What more could we ask for in a crown prince? Captain Grueset, this is not the time for joking. I am trying my best to serve as King Youm's attendant, making sure he becomes a good, just king. Edgar, son of the previous King Edmaris, glowed red with embarrassment. He was still just 10 years old, but, well put together, was an understatement. By the looks of things, he was already used to being the butt of their jokes. Having to deal with such mean grown-ups at his age had to be difficult. At least Youm and Grueset seemed to care for him, as much as they carried on. I wouldn't have minded more of this pleasant small talk, but it had to end sometime. They were all tired from the voyage, and I'd have other VIPs coming for the pre-opening tonight. I suggested we could continue this conversation with some drinks later, and Youm readily agreed. So, Youm, as thanks for keeping your promise, I have a present for you. Diablo. You mean this, Sir Rimuru? Before I could finish, Diablo realized what I meant and picked up a certificate we had prepared in advance, kindly providing it to me. I handed it to Youm. Hey, what's this, pal? Youm wasn't particularly great at the whole literacy thing either, so he quickly tossed it over to his assistant, Edgar. With a nod, the boy read it, and then his eyes bulged out of their sockets. You're forgiving the rest of the reparations. Yep, don't really need any, now that Youm's king. They had already paid us 1,500 stellar gold coins in reparations. The total sum of 10,000 stellars was laughably astronomical, and now that our mission was accomplished, there was no need for that money anyway. Youm looked at the shocked child with a smile. Hey, well, I don't really get what that means, but there ya go, Edgar. He didn't know, but Edgar sure did. No doubt it'd be another gold star for Youm's reputation. Thus I became known as a person, or a demon lord, I suppose, who was willing to bargain a bit when it came to reparations. My talks with Youm's group were over. They all left the meeting hall, dragging a still petrified Edgar with them. It was afternoon now, and I was no longer quite so busy. Visitors were still swarming in, but they weren't eager to talk right now, either, not when there was this evening to prepare for. A lot of them certainly wanted to see me, and I agreed to, as long as they were willing to wait until after the festival. I finally had some free time as a result, so, as I promised, I decided to travel to Inglesir and pick up Yuki. I could stop by the school there and take the kids as well. A festival like this, I didn't want them to miss out on the fun. We hope you all enjoyed this video. If you like this kind of content, then subscribe over YouTube channel for more exciting videos.